All right, hello. We are live once again here on a Sunday night tie of the week live here on the good old YouTube. So tonight, no big deal, literally and figuratively. We are doing X Caddis. We're going small. These are size 20s. And these are going to be a lot of fun to tie up. Because of their size, it's definitely a challenge. So we'll wait for a couple people to get on here. We start things here at 6 o'clock Central Time Zone. Every Sunday, rain or shine. And lately it's definitely been a lot more rain than shine, so here we go. Gotta do a couple clickety clacks here on the computer before we go too far. Info and settings. I have to make sure the chat is enabled and we are good to go. Everything is public. We got people watching, etc., etc. So we have to stay late for things to save. All is changed. View on watch page. So do me a favor, once you tune in, hit that share button. Say hi in the chat. We've got some good things going on tonight. We're gonna do a little choose your own adventure X Caddis tonight. We got color options we're gonna monkey around with, and yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun tonight. So who do we have out there? Let me do some shout outs in the chat. Let's see here. And there we go. So if you're just joining, scroll down to the bottom. That's where you'll find the chat feature. And I just gotta share this at one place. Go to my page and we'll get going. All right, we got Steve Hartman in the house. And we are going to be going, size 20, X Caddis. And this is, whatever we decide tonight is what I will do on the A to Z. Let me turn that heater off. We've actually have had to turn on the heater here in the basement. All right, good evening, Steve. Let's get things going. We're gonna get things going. So in my A to Z tie-in book that I'm working out of, the Flumonsterliesens Golden Baden Daden, there's only one, we'll zoom out there, there's only one X pattern to choose from for the letter X, and I'm glad it's there. I'd hate to not have anything, so I'm familiar with this pattern already. I've tied many of them out of a different book, Patterns of Yellowstone, Volume 2, which is an excellent book. If you're ever in West Yellowstone, stop by Blue Ribbon, and you never know, the boss man himself just might be sitting there at this bench tying some flies, which is always a lot of fun. Look at our background, we'll get our lights going, and we're going to start tying some flies, so we'll take this in a little tight. Alright, so once again, these are size 20s. We're going small. And these are Firehole Stick 419s. These are just a stupid sharp hook. And it's stupid small. one of the tools I found which works out for me really nice. Having a little brush with a little magnetic tip on it. It's great for pulling up single hooks. Alright, so for a thread on size 20, I have this sheer, it's a 14/0 thread. You can go bigger, you can go smaller. I find that this size thread works really good in that size 20 range. And like all good flies, we'll start this with the single wrap of thread, take a couple of turns, and trim off the tag end. So, this being a blue ribbon fly, I have 3 color choices for the tail section of crinkled Zelon. And I kind of got this dark brown, a light olive, and I have an amber. And we're going to go through and we're just going to tie some up. Let's start with, we'll start with the light olive. What do you say? We'll do a little bit of light olive. And it doesn't take much. You know, obviously I've been tying with this piece before. And this being a size 20, I'm actually going to take a moment and just kind of thin this material out just a little bit. I don't need that full brunt, especially in a size 20. And we'll come up underneath. We'll take our first full wrap. We'll take our thread to the bend. And trim off our tag. Nice little shuck there on the back. Nothing too big. And these little tufts and this little bit that I pulled out earlier. You know, I'm just going to take that and just put it in a little pile. And eventually at some point it will go into a little bag. And once it's done in the little bag, it will go into the coffee grinder and we'll go bananas. So I also have some Zelon dubbing. Some good color choices. And we did that little light olive tail. Let's go ahead. We'll do the dark olive body for the dubbing. And we're going to just take a little bite of wax. Wax our thread on here. And I know I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times, when we do our dubbing, in most cases, less is always going to be more. And this stuff really sticks to the wax. Because we're just trying to, basically you're texturing the thread just a little bit. So I'm going to pull the thread away from the bend of the hook until I start to get to that dubbing. Because I don't want to build up too much bulk right there at the rear. I don't want to affect hook gap or anything like that. And we'll do a slight taper towards the front. I'm satisfied with that. And I got a little bit of dubbing left on there, so I can just take that, slide it up and out of the way, and just get that cleared out. Alright, so for this X Caddis, I've got a little tuft of deer hair. And we've been working on this one for a little while. I really like the color of the tips. That's what you're after here. And I found that this particular patch, it does offer a decent flare when you draw the line tight. And what do you think we're going to do here next? We're going to clean out our hair. And I'm going to go ahead and just take my little eyebrow brush, work that a little bit, work that a little bit. You cannot over clean hair. Alright, so let's go ahead and take the tips. We'll put the tips into the packer. And we'll rack and stack and line up these tips nice and good. Look at that. That's a beautiful thing. Carefully pull that out. Bump the camera a little bit. Alright, I'm going to line this up right to the wing, length of the tail. A nice solid pinch on it. I'm going to spin my thread counterclockwise for a second so I get that bend to the left. And now I can start to flare this out. I'll pull the butt sections kind of up and out of the way. Really let it do its flare thing. Come underneath everything. We're going to build up a small little bump. Right behind the eye of the hook and under the fuzz, under the hair. Alright, so now what I have here is just a standard drinking straw, and I have a little notch cut out of it, and I have a slit cut. I got a little dab of red on there, and the red is just to help me find it on the bench because it is a clear straw. What I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this over my butt section of my wing. I'm just going to take it right there, and look at that. That's going to hold everything out of my way so I can come in with my 1, 2, 3 turns on the whip. Alright, we'll trim off our tying thread nice and close. Remove our straw. And now we have to do our little forward head, or puff. So we'll carefully pull all the butt sections forward. We'll come in at that angle cut. Nice sharp scissors really helps. We've got one stray. I like it. That's a little X caddis. That's in a size 20. I have a couple of hairs that rotated down. We're just going to trim those off. That way we keep everything above the body of the fly. Nothing spun all the way around. So that's number 1. That's number 1. What are we going to do with number 1? We got to put it somewhere. So that was with the light olive shuck on the back, crinkled Zelon, and we did the dark olive body. So we'll do another one. And what do we want to do for colors on this one? We'll let you guys decide. That was number 1. Alright, we'll take a vote. We're going to do olive, brown, or amber. Olive, brown, or amber tail section. We'll decide on that one. What do you guys say? Olive, brown, or amber for the tail? Alright, first in was the amber. We'll start with amber. We'll do that for our tail. And then, alright, so since we gave the color of the tail to Steve Hartman, we'll let the other Steve pick the body color. We got the light tan, even though it says it's a white Miller. So we got tan, white, gray, olive. We'll call it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. we'll pick that color out next. But first we got to cast on our thread. We got to get our hook in the vise. We got a lot of stuff going on here. All right, so C says tin. All right, so we'll do the amber shuck with the tan body. Same hair though. Got to keep something consistent. These tiny little hooks kind of make me scared. I'm more scared of a small hook than I am of a large hook, as far as it being in the vise and things like that there. Alright, so I got this nice big long piece. We're going to just trim it down because we're just using small little sections. And again, I'm going to thin this out because this is pretty chunky for a size 20. We like things sparse. At least I do. Alright, going on with amber. Once again, how I really like to do these materials is I'll come underneath the thread and I just lift it up. And without much effort, I got at least one decent wrap of thread on the hook. We're going to tie this in, keeping it up on the top side. And we'll just run this all the way to the bend. I like it. We'll trim off our tail. And we'll trim off our front little tuft. Lots of little tufts and puffs on the X Caddis. You know, I wish I could, I'm limited by my technology here, and you know, this is as good as it gets for my cell phone. I mean, excuse me, it's still pretty amazing technology. I mean, it's a Samsung Galaxy S8 is what we're working on here. All right, so we said the tan. So I'm going to go with the tan. Number 1. Amber shuck with a tan body. Let's go ahead and add a little touch of wax. Again, last week I did discuss this for a quick moment, and I will repeat. What I do before I sit down and do a lot of tying, especially if I know I'm going to be doing dubbing, is I will take a bowl of hot water and just put my wax in it, my little bar of wax. It's just, I don't know what kind of wax it is. It was something I picked up along the way in a little baggie of other waxes. And just to soften it up a little bit, I just let it soak in some hot water. Look at that dubbing. Sparse. Sparse is narse. That's one of my made-up sayings I use out at the VA. Sparse is narse. I don't know. You got to have some silly sayings. But there are serious ones too, like keep it sparse. All right, let's go ahead and clean the junk out of here. Just that first pull really gets quite a bit out. Come in with the dub brush, just an eyebrow brush. ELF. I know it's eyes, lips, and faces or something, but St. Cloud, VA. That's where I volunteer once a week at Project Healing Waters here in central Minnesota. Got a good group. We're going to have some upside down hairs in that little mess. Let's go ahead and stack that out anyways. Yeah, every week, every Wednesday, we meet out at the VA. And I am the Woolly Bugger King. I teach the incoming veterans how to tie their first fly, which is, in most cases, is always going to be the woolly bugger. And after I'm done with them, when they come back for their next week, I move on to the advanced table where it's a different pattern every week. So I'm in a woolly bugger world. Let's go ahead and line the tips up here, the end of the tail. And it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's kind of a bummer. I mean, you're down at the hospital and this and that, but being a part of somebody's very first fly that they've ever tied in their entire lives, hearing the stories, oh yeah, I've always wanted to try it, just never got around to it, or oh yeah, my old man did this, or I did it once back, because we get veterans of all ages, all conflicts, and I don't know, a lot of good stories, good times, a lot of aha moments. And it's through there is where I found my passion for fly tying and fly fishing in general, but teaching it as well. And we get a little advanced here. This is kind of size 20 X caddis. It's not your first fly kind of tie, but this is the tie of the week. We'll go ahead and just separate the butt section out there. This is why I like to keep the butt sections full length, just so I have something to work with, to hold on to and grab. Here we go. Let's go ahead and get this trimmed up there. That might even be a little bit big. Can we get in and take a second swipe? Sometimes, depending on your scissors, you only get one good pass at it. Ah, that's good enough. I really like the way that one turned out. So that was, first one was a green and green, so we'll do tail and body, and this one was a tan, no, this one, what did we do? We did an amber tail with a tan body. What I got going on here is my little score sheet going on there. Boo, why are we booing, pigeon fly tying? Don't boo. Don't be booing. Unless it's boos of love. Oh, that kind of boo, like boo. So yeah, that's another thing I was going to discuss, and I think we can decide that tonight too. I want to do a Halloween themed fly tying contest. So this is a challenge for all the fly tiers out there. And I'm looking for a spooky fly, a scary fly, something just goofy, something just outright craziness, or a fly that has a costume or some other crazy madness. And pulling, yeah, it's stuck up there. We're gonna move the camera, so hang on to your hats, folks. We're gonna go for a quick ride. So this is something along the lines of a costume, and it's stuck in there because I don't think I did anything with the barb, but it's on my towel. Way up here I have my turkey fly. So that would I would buy that for a costume contest, even though that's a Thanksgiving themed, you know, gobble gobble turkey. We'll probably tie that up again this Thanksgiving, because that was before we had the YouTube channel here. So, I don't know, we have to think of a good hashtag for our Halloween fly tying contest. Spooky flies, or all tied up costume contest. I don't know. We'll think of something. All right, so we've done our amber, we've done our olive. Let's go ahead and we'll do a dark brown. We'll do a dark brown. How about it? So with our dark brown, we'll get more options here. With our dark brown, which body? Tan. See, the white comes out, it's kind of a green. Gray, we got a rust. I really like that rust. I call that pheasant tail. What do you say, gray? Nice Callibatus gray. Excadus. I don't know, we'll have to think of something. That's a little too much. That's a little too complicated for your average Instagrammer. Gotta keep it simple. All right, well, let's do, we'll take a quick pause here. We'll do some shout outs while we get our hook and our vise. Who do we got out there tonight? I know I've got Pigeon Fly Tying, and I know I have Steve Hartman, and I have another Steve. Steve Tribalski. We'll just call you Ski, like any other Ski I know. It's always just gone by Ski. Me see me. All right, let's start this up. Single wrap a thread. We'll take a couple wraps. Welcome, guys and gals, all tied up fly tying school. We are here every week, Sundays at 6 o'clock Central Time. That's my time. Central. All right, we'll do our shout out stick. Oh boy. Oh boy. So last night we got to watch the Tipsy Tire on Instagram. And Dave was giving away a lot of good stuff. A lot of Fly Life Company swag. Some hats and shirts. You got to check out the swag out there. That's some good quality stuff. I really enjoy my shirt. Super soft. That's one thing I don't know. When I find something and I really like it, I will shout it from the mountaintops. It's super soft. It's stupid soft. Small little shuck in the back, and this is the brown. And let's see. I think we're going to do the pheasant tail. Yeah? Brown with the pheasant tail? That sounds good. Yes. Yes. That's what we're going to do anyways. Let's add a little dab of wax. Pumpkin, yes. Yeah, I guess that could be kind of a pumpkin color. Just the smallest little bit. There we go. go. So I'm going to pull that. See how I pull that thread away? Because I don't want to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wraps before, you know, all stacked up there on the back. Even though it's a 14-aught thread, I'd rather bury that thread a little further towards, a little further down the shank. This is actually one of the earlier in my tying career, in my tying life, one of my earlier flies that I've tied in preparation. Alright, we're back. For whatever reason, I get a little bump out from YouTube. You know, there's no other Wi-Fi being used right now. We're in a silent status of internet usage, and it just drops out. Come on, Verizon 4G, let's do this. Maybe that's what I need to do. I need to ditch the Wi-Fi and go a little bit. So the red screen is actually my thumb covering the rear-facing camera, or the front-facing camera, the one facing me, because you'd get nothing but like armpit and my chest, just because that's the position of the situation. Let's go ahead and stack our hair, tips down. Steve got the new leaders. The new leaders are in. Now these new leaders are braided, or not braided, furled leaders. And they are floating. Go ahead and line up the tips of the wing with the edge of the tail. And it's all about the flare. Alright, once we got that flared up and out, we'll take that whole hot mess, bump that up underneath. Now, where did I do my straw? Now, if you didn't think that straw trick, the straw trick is just absolutely amazing. Throw a little color indicator on there so you can find it. Pigeon fly tying taught me this one. It's just an absolute, I don't know, it's magic. 1, 2, 3. We'll throw a fourth in there. Why not? Having good solid thread, that this really helps too. I mean, this, you really want to be able to tug on it and set your thread and lock this material down without any kind of weakness or fuss. Alright, enough of that madness. But we're back once again. We're going to trim this caddis. Here we go. And sometimes I'll just come in with the tip of my scissors and just kind of puff that all out. I think it's a beautiful thing. I like the, so let's mark this one down. The second one was a brown tail with a, I'm just going to call that rust. All right, what's next? What's next? All right, so we did one of each color for the tail. And let's do this. Let's do this. I'll let you guys decide once again. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So, I got this Fly Tires Dungeon. This is shuck yarn. We can deviate from the crinkled Zelon, I guess. And I have, you know, this amber to match that amber. Which is actually, it's pretty close. The Fly Tires Dungeon is just a little bit darker. And I don't know if it's Zelon or not. But we also have this rust. So we're saying FTD. Alright, so we got it narrowed down to the FTD. Do we want to do the rust? Let's do a rust. Let's do rust. It's nice to have options. I mean, this will at the end of by the end of the stream here, we'll decide what flavors we want to go with on the for the official how to tie tutorial video. Hello and welcome. All right, so this is the rust. I really like this rust. You can definitely see the difference between the brown, but like we did with the other bits, I'm just gonna trim this down just a wee little bit, and let's go ahead and thin this out by about 50%. This is pretty darn thick. I think that'll work. We'll set that off to the side. Let's get our next hook. Size 20, these are Firehole sticks, 419ers. Ooh. Will you look at that? I just felt that. Do you guys see what I see? Did you feel what do you see what I felt? We'll see if we can't go super tight in on that. But go ahead and check that out. It's bent. So what we're going to do is we are going to set that one off to the side. And let's go ahead and fish out another hook. Here we go. I got these in 2 different sizes. I got them in 18s and 20s. I really like these 20s. That's the first one that I've encountered, and you know, I guess some people might freak out and be like, oh, blah 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 blah. Well, you know, honestly, if you're a serious fly tyer and if you've tied as many flies as some people have, you come across some weird stuff. I might have nope, nothing. Oh yeah, there we go. There's my weird one. Yeah, look at this one. I mean, this is how's that for a hook? I mean, That one, this one was a definite mind bender here. It looks like somebody really clamped onto that. So, yeah, it's just kind of one of those freaky things you find in your box. Just put it up there with the land of misfit hooks. It does look like it could be a shrimp hook, but I think it's like an 18. It'd be an awfully small scrimp. All right. Begin this with a couple wraps. We'll trim that off. All right, so we're gonna do our standard question. And if you know the answer because you learned this from a previous broadcast, hold your tongue and let somebody else that might know the answer know the answer. So, and if you've answered this question correctly, I mean, we're not giving anything away here because I got nothing to give away. I'll trim this off. But we've been asking this question a few weeks in a row now, just spreading the word, little educating, and I don't even have any as a sample. That's the crazy thing. So on your wire, we're talking wire here. Yeah, this used to be that. What's blacked out there is actually BR. What was BR sized? Yep, hold your tongue, PJ, because we know you know. And if Jimmy's watching tonight, I'm pretty sure he knows from a previous. But let's take some guesses out there. We established, yeah, no PJ, or no Jimmy tonight. Probably lying low. All right. So we went with this rust. Jimmy, where are you? Do we want to do that rust really matches that pheasant tail. It really would blend in. Or we could go black, that olive, the gray, or this white. Do the rust in the green and the olive. All right, we'll do this olive. Unless you're talking this top green, which, I don't know. It's all practically brand new. Obviously, I have not used that one yet. Or not often. The bottom middle is a black. All right, we'll tie this one up. We'll do the olive next. We're in no hurry. Where did I set my wax? Little dab of wax. And did I see a mix in there? A black with green mix. Okay. So there's the black. We'll just do another little touch of green mixed in there before we compress it down. So yeah, so I got a little black, green, black. Green being the olive. All right, let's get our dub on. We're into the olive. We're gonna take that and we're gonna just bring that back Just a skosh. Here we go. I like it. I like it. Just so we just have just a little. We gotta move our thing. Here we go. A little touch of black, a little bit of olive fading back into the black. Back to black. Let's do our little deer hair. Do our deer hair. So there was a little conversation. I was talking to Creeks Flies, and he was asking about razor blades, because he's doing some spinning and trimming and packing and whatnot. And I suggest, now I'm sure there's better quality blades out there, but for the money, I'm a big fan of the Derby. Derby Extra. I buy them by the thousand. And when you can get a lot of 1,000, here we go, we'll move this up here. Way over there. There's the Derby Extras. You know, you don't feel bad blowing through them. I mean, I always keep them on hand. And I'll save, I strip down my hooks quite often, so I always kind of keep a junker around for for junk. So let's go ahead and run our stacker. He was also having some issues with his hair stacker, and I believe, yep, pancakes are ready. He was having an issue with the stacker, and I think it was static. That would be my first suspect. Will always be static. So if you're having issues with your hair stacker, run a dryer sheet through the process a couple of times. Ooh, that's a really nice flare out. Let's go ahead and fold this all under and get our little bump underneath. And we'll come in with our straw. Now, if you can't see, we'll see if we can't get a little definition. So what I did there is I trimmed a slit all the way through the straw, but I also have a little notch cut out of it, a little groove, and that really helps align and getting the thread, opposed to just the flat cut. It just helps it find where it needs to go. It's a beautiful thing. You know, fly tying should be fun. It doesn't need to be stressful. I mean, these are size 20s. You know, there's a lot of people that'll really stress out over a size 20 fly. And, you know, it comes down to having proper thread, a solid vise, and good material handling. And if you can conquer all three of those obstacles, you can have a lot of fun. So we'll get the butts forward and keep the tips to the rear and the wing. And there we go. I like it. I like it. I got one stray in there, and that's going to bother me. Here, at least we got it down a notch. So there's this one. That was, this was the, that was a rust with a black and olive body. Kind of like that one. I think that one turned out all right, all right, all right. Yeah, what do you say? Let's keep going, huh? So let's go ahead and do another one. Let's do another one. We got hooks, we got time. One more and then it's bedtime. Yeah, you gotta get up and haul that bacon. Alright, we're back. Sorry for that delay. I don't know. I really honestly cannot explain these little goblins that come up and Alright. This is insane. I really wish it would not do that. It's like I'm trying to do something here. Leave me alone. We're back. We're back. We didn't really go anywhere. We also did not decide what we wanted to do for this next one, flavor-wise. Did we want to do kind of like that rust rear? So let's do that again. I'll go ahead and just tie this rust. We'll do a rust shuck. What the shuck? Can we squish that down? There we go. We'll get a little bit more. I always like being able to maximize flies per material. And a lot of cases that means keeping material on the spool, etc., etc. So quite often that's what we do. There we go. Steve may, or Pigeon may or may not be on. Let's do a gray. We're doing a rust and gray. Get our wax. We haven't done any of the Callibatis gray yet. Now some people might grab, you know, that big tough, but we're gonna go half that. Here we go. I'll do a little bit of the gray. And since we've done quite a few of these thus far, we kind of have a feel for how much dubbing we need to actually put on the thread. Well, it's a nice big thick rear section there. We'll just take it nice and tight. There we go. Work it up. I like it. Well, I hail from the great state of Minnesota currently, and Pigeon is from Pennsylvania. We're all tied up. Fly Tying School is located in central Minnesota, right on the banks of the Mississippi River. Well, the town is, not me personally. I'm a solid 5-minute bicycle ride away from the river, which is nice. It's always nice when you can ride a bicycle to the river and get a line wet. But my poor river, she's been just terribly blown out. I know some guys that have gone out with their single man pontoon rafts, and they get out there and they can float around. Look at this. Now this, I don't think this will work. We might have to redo this wing. Might not have to. It seems just a little bit sparse. Adirondack region. So back in, I want to say 2000, 2001, somewhere thereabouts, I got on my motorcycle, and I took my motorcycle and rode all the way out to Lake George in the Adirondacks. Tell you what, you guys make some good chairs, those Adirondack chairs. In fact, we stopped our bikes to take a picture of one along the side of a road. You know, it was one of those that was 30 feet high or something ridiculous. And me being a young and inexperienced, it all came down to lack of experience. The road was on an incline and slight grade to the road. And next thing I know, I see my bike rolling backwards, and it just goes right into the ditch. Deep ditch. Life lessons, my friends. Life lessons. We'll go ahead and separate the front and the rear. And we'll trim off our little front puff. I like it. The Catskills. I am not familiar with the Catskills area. Now you do have, what I do know is that it's a whole style of fly that comes out of that region. The Catskill dry flies. Now what makes a Catskill a Catskill? What makes it so special? What makes it so great? Other than it's already, you know, just awesome. All right, so I'm really digging this amber shuck. Not the amber, the rust. Rust, and this is a gray. All right, we'll go ahead and leave it at that for now. Let's see. Let's do another one. What do you say? Should we keep tying? Or are we just going to wrap it up after an hour here? Because I have time tonight. I have the house all to myself. Nobody's waiting on me, and I'm not waiting on anybody else. So what do we think so far? What's the consensus? We got the olive tail with the gray body. We have the amber tail with the tan body. We have the dark brown with the rust body. We have a rust tail with a black and olive. And we have another rust with the gray body. I don't know. What do we think out there? What's your favorite thus far? I like the rust body personally. So we're doing what'd you say, Pigeon? Tan with a rust mix in black. All right, let's try that. Let's get some of this other madness out of the way. Pull out another hook. Now, each and every one of these is definitely 100% fishable. I mean, we're not tying any bad flies. It's just that we have options, and I'm trying to decide what I want to do for the official video. All right, here we go. So what did we want to decide? We wanted to do, okay, tan tail. I don't have a tan tail, Pigeon. I've got dark brown, amber, and olive, and the crinkled Zelon. And in the Fly Tires Dungeon, I have rust and amber. Now the difference between these two ambers is just a slight. The blue ribbon is a little bit yellower. This is just a little darker. Okay, so we'll do an amber. And I think this is the, yep, this is the blue ribbon amber. So this is the bona fide, legit crinkled Zelon, fresh from Blue Ribbon Flies. That's a fun shop. It's a really, you know, it's always nice to get out there. I am a big fan of the Yellowstone region. I look forward to my annual trip out there, spending some quality time fishing with my father, and catching a lot of fish. I'm Upper Madison. Sometimes we'll get into the park. Every year we have gone into the park so far. And, you know, honestly, you know, if you go out to the park and you're like any other yokel, it's, you know, you see people on the side of the road, or the cars on the side of the road, and everybody's fishing and this and that, and you got to get to, I would really like to fish Yellowstone, but I need to hike in a day or two. I need to get to waters that nobody's seen yet. All right, so we're on to the body. We got our amber shuck. And let's do the rust amber. That's what I'm thinking, boys and girls. I think that's it. With a little wisp of black in there, just to darken it up just a little bit. So we'll just need just a skosh of the brown. All right, we got the brown. And we're just going to do a little touch of black right there in the middle. I think that'll work. I think that'll work. We'll work our material to the bend. And we'll take our thread forward. We'll get into the black. Maybe I need to go a little bit smaller. That's a big chunky monkey body there. I know it, you know it. It's huge. It's a huge body, folks. That's just ginormous. It's huge. I don't have too many. I don't have a whole pocket full of voices to pull from like our friend the Tipsy Tire. That was a heck of a show last night. A lot of good times. You know, and it's interesting because he says that was his first time ever having to take a break, and I call BS on that because I really remember him having to take a pause for the cause. Because I remember joking about, because he came back so fast. I even joked about if he even washed his hands. But who knows? You know, everybody's out there just trying to do their thing, and I don't know, it was pretty cool. There was like, I think I saw 25 or 35 viewers total at the peak. I think I counted like 36. I saw. Counted like I actually sat there and added everybody up. Yeah, right. $38. Yeah. Yeah, at the very end of the stream there was 25, but at the peak, yeah, it definitely, and I think that was the most I've really seen. I mean, there's plenty of nights where it's, you know, I'm just coming off of working a full night of bingo, volunteering, and I'm tired. And a lot of times I just want to go to bed. So I got one. I see that one in there, don't you? We'll just try to isolate it. Here we go. Spin our thread counterclockwise or anti-clockwise, depending on where you're from. Oh, looks like we got a little bit of dubbing underneath that madness. We'll roll with it. Where'd my straw go? There's my straw. We'll come in with the straw trick. How excellent is that? Now, normally, folks, when we're doing our tie of the week, you know, I think the video quality is a heck of a lot better when I'm not zoomed all the way in on a size 20. So maybe next week we'll switch back to something a little bit chunkier, so we're not macro zoomed all the way in. I think this might be it. I think this one might be the golden ticket. I like it. Yeah, boy, I like that one. I like the amber with a little bit of, what are we calling this technically? It's Glossima black and a pheasant tail. Xenon dubbing. Some good stuff there, folks. That's some definitely good stuff. So let's see. We got 4 people tuned in tonight so far. What do you say? Do we keep going? Do we tie more? It's up to you guys. and you're the ones watching. Whether you're watching or not, the odds are I'd be sitting here tying. All right, Pigeon, thanks for tuning in. Have a good day tomorrow. Be safe out there. Happy trucking. So we got the amber, and then we have the black and pheasant. Yeah, give me a call sometime tomorrow, Pigeon. I got some drama for your llama. A llama in pajamas. Just some observations that I've been making. So that's the amber with the pheasant and the black. Kind of a tritone. So there we have it. That's from tonight. We're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if I can get a couple of thumbs up, we got 3 people watching. If I can get one more thumbs up, hit the like button, and we'll tie one more. If not, we'll call it a night. At least for the camera, for the live stream. Because I will probably record this tonight and get it out in the morning. The step-by-step how to tie tutorial video. Hello and welcome to another step-by-step how to tie tutorial video. This is the letter X. X caddis. Yeah, in my last video on the A to Z tying series, I biffed it and called it a water bug and didn't really notice until after I was well into post-production, and I just rolled with it. I just added that subtitle, flashing water beetle, even though I called it a water bug. What do you do, though? Slip of the tongue, I wasn't going to do another take. I already had a whole fistful of them tied up, and I really just didn't need any more. So we're going to try this last one again. I think that's what I'm going to do for the video. I really like the amber tail. The amber shuck. Ah, shucks. Ah, shucks. So, who else do we have on here still? Who's out there? I like knowing who's out there. It's just, I don't know. It's satisfying knowing who's watching. Because I know I got a couple of watchers out there. We're gonna just try that one again. With the two-tone body. Which is just a little bit of the pheasant tail. Split that up a little bit. A little bit forward, a little bit aft. And just a touch of black in between. And we're talking just minuscule amounts here, folks. Two-tone body. I like it. That's why we keep Pigeon around. He's my personal little mad scientist. Here we go. I like it with the black strip in the middle. I don't know why, but I like it. Now, what the trout will say, that's entirely different than my opinion. But we get by. We definitely get by. Let's go ahead and clean our hair out. We'll run it through our stacker. Tips down once again. What do you know? Ooh, look at that. That is nice. We still got Steve. We got Steve Hartman in the house. The hardest working man in the wood industry. Here we go. Steve, you're gonna love what time does your mail come tomorrow, Steve? Steve Hartman. I know I would be anxious. I'm anxious for you. I'm really excited for you to get your hands on these tools. I'm talking to my buddy Dave tomorrow. We have a fly club meeting, and I pretty much have everybody on the 406 Flyboy crew. They all want one. They all want the tool set. Some want the tool set, some want the bobbin. So I'm going to talk to my man Dave and see about playing middleman for him. That thread just broke off. That's the first time all night. Where did it break? Are we still good? Nope. This fly is done. We're toast. We're gonna go with it. We're gonna set this one off to the side. I'll give you guys a demonstration before we're done here. What we do. This is kind of, doesn't matter. My thread just broke on the head up there, and it was a little premature. And sometimes this is what you have to do, because I'd rather have the hook than monkey around with trying to get that head back tight in there. So we'll finish this broadcast with the shave, because that happens. And there we go, back to square one. We'll set this off to the side with the other one. Don't forget, folks, when you're staying up late and you're doing a lot of tying and stuff like that, you don't leave a hook in your vise overnight. It's bad things happen. I've only heard stories of that. It's never actually happened to me. But so we've been through a few. We did a olive tail with gray body. We did an amber tail with a tan body. The brown, didn't really like the brown with the rust body. Rust tail with the black and olive. Rust tail with the G. What did I do for G? Something. And we're settling on the amber shuck tail with the black and the pheasant tail dubbing body. So yeah, that's what we're going to settle on. That's going to be it for tonight. So we'll leave it at that. We did a little little overtime, and oh gosh, Steve, I got a feeling that once my case that you're building me gets out, I hope you're secretly building two, like NASA, because I might want to order. Who knows? Who knows? I might actually want to get 6 more for my fly tying school. That way I can store all that equipment all together. But that's going to be that'd be a huge order and a big chunk of change on my end. But yeah, we'll see. I know there's got to be other people out there that'll fall in love with this box. You do good work, and yeah, I mean, we'll get it out there. We'll get it out there, that's for sure. We'll get it out there for sure. I'm definitely thinking of talking to you about some little tying stations for the classroom too, as well, to keep everything together and clean and organized. So all right, gang, thanks for tuning in. That's it for me tonight. Join me next week. Hit that subscribe button down below if you really want to be in on it, not miss any of the action. Hit the little alarm bell next to that. That way you will get notifications whenever All Tied Up Fly Tying School publishes a video or goes live here on YouTube. And I do an occasional live stream on Instagram. So, all right, gang, give me that thumbs up. Hit that like button. Happy tying and tight lines. Thank you.